Hi there, welcome back to Silver Lining Art. My name is Anish, and in this video, I'll be making a painting inspired by a book called Immortals of Meluha by Amish. Many of you might recognize this image. It's on the cover of the book. It's the kind of literature that I don't interact with very often, but I absolutely enjoyed it and really wanted to express that joy through my art. Hope you enjoy it as well.
Immortals of Meluha. It's a fictional what if story about the Hindu god, the god of destruction, Shiva. A very popular book, at least here in India. Growing up, I saw this book everywhere. Mostly caught my eye because it's written by Amish, who has ruined my name in autocorrect for a very long time. My name is Anish, not Amish, and definitely not Amish. As I mentioned before, the book is a what if story. What if Shiva was not a god but an exceptional human being? So exceptional that the lore of his deeds traveled far and wide, giving him the godlike status. It sometimes reminds me of the Hercules movie with Dwayne The Rock Johnson in it, at least in the premise of it. The book fascinated me from the very beginning. In an interview, Amish, the author, he mentioned, no Indian ever read Mahabharata, the great epic, for the first time. End of quote. As Indians, regardless of our religion, our belief, we are very familiar with these epic stories, the Mahabharata, Ramayana, and we are familiar down to the very fine details of it. How is that possible? How might an event 4,000 years ago, or at least the first reference of it was 4,000 years ago, stood the test of space and time? You know what I'm talking about if you've played the game of Whispers as a kid. The original message gets lost very quickly in just a few transfers. How is it that the same story being told for so many years and throughout a subcontinent? I always wondered, how is it so consistent? Could this story be real? My atheist mind wouldn't let me entertain this idea, especially the metaphysical and mystical aspects of the story, as a historical account. This book, right from the beginning, sets the story in a physical world, our world, providing rational explanations for most of the mystical, metaphysical elements. That was something I could get behind. Shiva is depicted as a strong warrior and leader, conditioned by harsh environment and fighting to protect his tribal community in the Himalayas. The book explores various philosophies of good and evil, something I've pondered over for a very long time, especially after following my favorite anime, Attack on Titan. I'll have to make another dedicated video and artwork for it some other time. Immortals is also an adventure story. Young Shiva leaves his home, explores the world, discovers how other people live, falls in love with a foreigner. This was a journey I myself could relate to, having lived in 3 continents over the last 8 years and traveled through over 24 countries. I could see different ways Shiva's thinking is challenged, his follies exposed, and him growing out of it. Meluha in the book is depicted as this utopian society, one that is fair, equal, righteous, peaceful, and where literally people do not die. A lot of it was thanks to the society's value towards science and medicine. I had just moved to Zurich in Switzerland during this time, and my mind kept drawing parallels to it, parallels between Meluha and Switzerland. I was in a similar amazement of Switzerland the way Shiva was of Meluha. However, later in the story, Shiva travels to more quote unquote imperfect kingdoms in his judgment and realizes that regardless of the chaos and the lower quality of life according to Shiva, the people were free and happy and content. My mind immediately drew parallels again, this time to India. There is a richness in the texture of life that in India that I have never found anywhere else, even in Switzerland. Without diving too deep into the subtext of political ideology, I could relate to Shiva, learn from his experiences, and in some odd way, through this more realistic human depiction of Shiva, I developed some faith. He became someone I could share my secrets with.